Welcome back for another video for Ancient Empires. Today we're going to check the automa rules for solo and then followed by a solo playthrough within the same video. So the first portion of this video will have the automa rules, which are going to be available so you can find out for yourself how it works, but I'm going to explain the basics and then we're going to proceed with myself playing a game versus the automa. So automas are automated players that can take the game and play according to certain behaviors, and you can add one or more automa to the players to a group of any number of human players. That means even if you're playing a two-player game with two humans, you can add a third player as an automa. Okay, but also you can play versus automa, and you can decide to play against one player, which is the one automa which is emulated by the game. So we select a random color for the automa which has not been picked by a human player. In this case that's the red color. Okay, I have selected the yellow myself. Then after setting up the game as normal for the humans, we decide how many automa players we're going to add to the game, and for each automa, in this case only one, we just do the following. First, we from the colors selected for the automa, we put aside all the pieces and orders of that color in a that are going to be used in the automa. Not all of them are going to be used in a designated area of the automa. Okay, let's say it's this one here. Then we place a disc in the player order on the scoreboard, followed by acquiring some order tokens. I have all my order tokens face up because I'm playing only versus the automa, so there's no need to hide anything from my side. And from the automa, it uses 2 move orders, 2 attack orders, and 2 grow orders. So a total of 6 orders. These specifically, the rest of the orders go back into the box. What we do is we take those orders, we create a face down stack, we shuffle them. They're going to be used through the planning phase and then revealed through the action phase of the automa. Okay, so we shuffle it and we place it on a stack near the player area for the automa. Then all the remaining order tokens are returned to the box. They're not going to be used in the game, and we pick any unused civilization and give it to the automa. We place it on their playing area. In this case I have selected Rome for the automa, next to their color pieces and their stack of 6 specific ordered tokens. After setting up the automa, we take the automa cards, and this is something new that in the solo mode I had to print them out, so I've used the PNP and printed them out. These are the automa cards. There are 12 automa cards which have different priority at the bottom, at the back, sorry, of the card. And then these are specific cards which have a specific number. You'll see what it means, and it has some improvements as well. Okay, a total of 12 cards. They're shuffled and they create the automa deck, and we also place it nearby next to the automa play area. Now, gameplay. The automa players take their turns according to the player order. That means in this case they'll play after myself. So I'll play first and then the automa player will play second. Okay, the same rules apply. Automa players can only play out move, grow, and attack actions, and they do this with certain behaviors. Okay, this is a stack of 6 specific ones that we selected. So placing automa orders, which is part of the planning phase. On the automa player's turn, we follow some steps to determine on which order slot to place their next order token. Okay, so placement acts as normal, like for multiplayer. Okay, so during placement, I'm not going to explain it now. You know how placement works for the multiplayer, or you can refer to my other video on the full rule set for the multiplayer on how the game works. But assuming you know that, the automa player is doing the following when they have to place an order token. What they do is they take a next order token and they place it from their stack, and without looking it, they take the top order token from the automa stack without looking at it, I mean the player, we reveal the top Automa deck card. It has a number. Let me show you another one. This one says 4. Okay, this one says again 4. So there are different numbers. This is a multi-use card. You'll see later what I mean. So let's say we drew one card which indicates a number, and starting from the last placed order, so let's say I placed an order myself, which was here, or here, or here, doesn't matter, let's say I placed it here, okay? Starting from the last placed order on the map, the last token the previous player placed, and moving in the direction of the direction marker. In this case, the direction marker is like that, but if it was flipped, it will be counterclockwise, okay? But for this round, it's clockwise. So going from this direction, we go to the next empty from the last place of the player, and we place this marker in a spot counting. You see, 1 from here, so it goes there, 1. If it goes 2, the number in there, it will be 1, 2. Okay, so this is very simple. The number in the Automa card dictates the distance from the last placed player order token that we're going to count according to the direction arrow and place the Automa token. We count the number of slots equal to the number of the Automa card number, okay, in the discard pile. This one, that means 1 in this case. And if the Automa is the first to place an order token this round, then we'll start automatically just below the direction arrow. We place the Automa order token in the order slot we counted up to, and we do this only if the placement is allowed. For example, if the slot is empty, or if there is only one other order placed there during the second round, that is. Otherwise, we continue along the order slots, following the direction until we find an order slot where the Automa can legally place its token. That means if I had to place it starting from this one, and if I had to place it 1, but let's say this was occupied, then I will move to the next one until I find the legal one. Okay, so this is how this works. Otherwise, you continue along the order slots, following the direction marker until you find an order slot where the Automa can legally be placed, counting the number on the card of the Automa. You play out the neutral action from the order slot for the Automa, and we'll see how we resolve these actions for the Automa later, but the neutral action in this case for the placement would be this one, okay? Because the Automa placed here, so it has this neutral action, so it gets the neutral action, that's what I mean. And now let's move to the Automa actions, the resolution phase. The Automa resolves its actions according to the rules that help it determine valid targets from themselves. That means the specific rules that may sometimes override the rules of the main rulebook. The Automa have access to only 3 types of orders, as we said: move, grow, and attack. And in addition to this, on occasion during the planning phase, they can play out a produce neutral action. Okay? Like this one. Regardless of that, the Automas, or the Automa player I should say, if it is an action that it has from an order token or a neutral action, follows the same rules like with the normal players, the normal gameplay and multiplayer. So let's say the targeting. The only thing that has changed so far from components point of view is that we got the 12 Automa cards, plus from my previous video we have these markers which I printed it and I cut out and I placed on the board according to the instructions of the Automa rules for placement. I believe these are going to be placed already on the main board, and these are priority definition. You see A, B, C, etc. Okay, right. So for targeting, whenever you're supposed to play out actions for the Automa player, you must determine a valid target territory where the current action will be resolved. First, you define the initial scope for the valid targets as all territories in the continent matching the color of the current order slot. If you, meaning they placed here, their pool of targets is everything green. Okay, for meaning since they are playing there, they can perform their action on this from everything green. Let me rephrase it. From all of these slots, they can target the green continent. Okay, so this is defining the initial scope for valid targets. Okay, if you're resolving an action from an order slot between two continents, so if they placed here, for example, okay, then in this case we select the next continent following the direction marker, which means since the direction is like that, they wouldn't get the black, they would select with this placement the green, even they have options for both if they were a human player. Okay, this is how it works. So to help the players determine a valid target territory for the automa, you will reference the automa priority list. This is a list of icons printed on the back of every automa card. And now let me show you the second card, which is the top on the deck of the automa, because we already flipped one, remember? It has a priority list. Okay? It's a list of icons printed on the back of every automa card. The automa priority list will change depending on the top card of the automa deck. Whenever you need to reference the automa priority, you look at the card currently on the top of the automa deck. And the automa priority list is a sequence of territories that are distinguished into shrine territories and the resource production territories, gold, material, food, etc. And the final tiebreaker for determining a target territory is the alphabetical order on the territories in the scope. All territories that share a type are ultimately distinguished by a letter of the alphabet, A, B, and C. That's where the numbers kick in for the tiebreaker if needed. At any point during the game, when you flip the last card from the automa deck, you take all the cards from the discard pile, you shuffle it again, and you recreate the automa deck. The last card you flipped should remain as the only card in the discard pile. So this is how targeting works for the automa. So let's see now the specific actions of the automa. Move. You determine, which happens during the action phase, obviously, okay, not during the planning phase. Move. You determine, unless it's a neutral action, you determine destination territory. On the matching continent, you follow the automa's priority list, which is again on the back of the deck. You go through every type of territory, find the territory that has no settlements, and that is a destination territory. If there are no such territories after exhausting the list, then we determine the destination territory by finding the territory with the least total power, meaning armies and settlements. Again, we use the automa priority list to resolve ties. We determine the origin territory. Okay, we have two things here. Condition 1, which is if the automa has armies in the starting territory, then it is the origin territory, meaning always it tries to get the armies out of their starting territory, obviously, because they are useless there, like with the multiplayer. Otherwise, you proceed to the second condition, where for the second condition you find all territories where the automa has a settlement, and out of those you determine as the origin the territory where the automa has the most armies. Okay? And you use the automa priority list to resolve ties. If there are no territories on this continent where the automa has a settlement, or the automa has no armies in the territories where it has settlements, then you proceed to condition 3, which is the last one, and first you find all territories that don't match the type of the current destination territory, and where the automa has 3 or more armies, and you use the automa priority list again from the back of the card to determine the origin territory among those territories. If there are no such territories that match the condition, then this action fails. If you successfully determine the destination and an origin, you take one army from the origin and place it in the destination, and you ignore regular rules for the move action. Okay, so this is how it populates from the origin to the, whether it's a starting or anyone else, to the destination territory. Okay, that's the moving. It's, I think, the one that you need maybe a couple of turns to get familiar with, because there are a bit of conditions, but I think if you have this on a play rate, it will be very, very easy to just go through the list and then quickly determine what's your origin and what's your destination. Then we have the grow action. Okay, we do this twice. We have 2 grow actions. On the matching continent, okay, let's say the automa decided to use, or the order was a grow action, okay, not an attack action like in this case. On the matching territory continent, let's say it was here a grow order, okay, so it affects this continent. we find all territories where the automa has a settlement. If there are multiple territories where the automa has a settlement, then we select the one that has the smallest number of armies. If there are still multiple territories, then we use the automa priority list to determine the target territory. If there are no territories where the automa has a settlement, then we place one army in the starting territory here. Again, you don't have to remember everything. It may sound too much to absorb. You just have to go through the the action sequence for the automa. The attack, we do this twice. We have two attack actions. We determine the target territory, and on the matching continent, we find all territories that match this condition. The automa has at least one army there, and there is at least one opponent army there. If there is only one such territory, that is the target territory, and we proceed to determine the target opponent. If there are two or more territories that match the condition, we use the automa priority list to determine the target territory. And then we proceed to determine the target opponent. If there are no territories that match the condition, then of course again the action fails. How we determine the target opponent? If there is only one opponent in the territory, then the automa removes one of the opponent's armies. If there are two or more opponent armies in the territory, then we determine the target by seeing whose order token is next to be resolved. If there are no tokens on the map other than the active automas, then the target is the next players in player order. In a solo game, it will be just the player. The action of produce, which it only gets from neutral actions, okay? It doesn't have a token for produce. The automa can play out produce only as a neutral action during the planning phase if they place one location and they click it with produce, sorry, here, with a produce. This is the move, this is the produce. So if they place it here, they will trigger a neutral produce, okay? If so, since the automa do not use resources in the game and they don't track resources on a game board, when resolve this action, the automa just immediately gains 2 victory points. Ouch. The end of the round. We improve automa settlements. At the end of each round, the automa player can potentially improve their settlements. For each settlement that belongs to an automa player, you flip the card from the automa deck. And if the improvement of the card can be built to the current settlement, for example, there isn't already improvement of that type, then you build it there. That means, let's say the automa has a settlement here, okay? And we could do that at the end of the round for each of the automa settlements. Let's say it had only one. We just flip the card. In this case, the automa has no settlements, so they can, of course, get the library and build it. But if they already had a library improvement and we flipped and we see a library, then in that case, the automa does not improve by adding the settlement because it only can have one of each type to a maximum of 4 different like the players. Okay? Of course, it doesn't have any cost and it does it without using any resources. Otherwise, you build no improvements for the settlement, but you give, if it already has the library, you give the automa 1 victory point. And then you move to the next settlement, the next automa settlement, the next one, and the next one. This happens at the end of each round. Okay? How we build automa settlements. At the end of every round, an automa player builds their settlements in every continent, in every territory where there are no settlements and the automa has at least 2 armies. The automa builds a settlement there. To build a settlement, we remove. So let's say it had here 2 settlements. You remove the 2 settlements and you add, sorry, the 2 armies, and you add a settlement from the automa's pool. Okay? Then you move the automa's cube on the influence track. If they reach any bonus, they ignore it and they gain 1 VP instead, meaning they would move here. Since there is a bonus, they ignore it and they gain 1 victory point. Okay? And this happens for each of the city-states. Right. End of an age. The automa player gains continent and island victory points and earns city-state majority here, following the regular rules. And during the end of the age, when you return all order tokens, for each automa player you shuffle all the order tokens from the map, meaning the 6 ones, okay, that they would have placed and resolved. And they reshuffle it again and they create a new stack face down for the next round. the end of the game. When calculating final scores, the Automa player gains victory points for the following: settlements, city-states, pillars, final influence, and Automa wins all ties and share the victory with other Automa players. There are a few additional rules for technology. For example, whenever you reveal a card from the Automa deck with a technology icon, the corresponding Automa player immediately invents a new technology. The corresponding Automa is the one which is currently playing, planning or resolving phase, or whose settlement is currently being checked for improvements, end of round. To select which technology card from the market the Automa will invent, because they use also the technology market. To select which one they're going to invent, we check the pillar symbols on each civilization. Here it has a red and a yellow. Okay, that means it will try to invent the first card that matches both of its symbols. If there are no such cards, it will take the first that matches its top symbol. If it still hasn't matched, which means in this case the red for Rome, okay, which is above the yellow. If it still hasn't found a match, then it will take the first that matches the bottom symbol, in this case the yellow for Rome. If it can't find a card, then it takes the first card in the market, meaning number 1. Okay. Automa players can have any number of technology cards. They're not limited to 5, like the 5 slots of the player board. Okay. And after it invents technology, the Automa player advances on the corresponding pillars for each icon respectively. If it passes the threshold, it ignores the bonus and gains 2 victory points, here, here, and here. So all these icons are 2 victory points for the Automa. And some card effects, Automa players ignore all effects from civilization cards and any technology cards that are acquired. For the wonders, Automa players cannot build wonders. And for resources, Automa players gather and spend no resources. So very straightforward, very, very structured. The only thing that needs to get used to is obviously the target and the destination, the origin and the destination, sorry, for moving and attacking. But after a couple of sessions, it becomes trivial and it's very easy to do. I recommend for the first solo play to have the priority next to you for deciding where to, and not talking for the planning phase, I'm talking for the action phase, to deciding where they're going to, which of the territories within their order token they will move or attack respectively. So there you have it. These are the rules for the solo, and we can start playing our solo play. The first thing that we do is I focus on the 2 civilizations that I have. Still, I'm not be able to select any one of those for the first age, meaning rounds 1 and 2. I'm going to select one at the end of age 1 while I move to age 2, meaning from round 2 to round 3. I have Egypt and Greece. This gives me 2 food or material in each continent where you have control in a city-state. 1 food for each such location, sacred, that I control. And gain 2 honor. Okay. Glory, sorry, what it's called, yeah. And then Pharaoh's gift, when you build a settlement. Oh, this is settlement, this is not the sacred location. Yes, sorry, this is a settlement icon for each settlement you control. And this is when you build a settlement, you gain 1 gold and 1 glory. Eternal dynasties. End of age, gain 1 influence in every continent where you control a monument. If you control at least 3 monuments anywhere, gain 2. Okay, so it works together, synergy with building monuments, obviously. Okay. With controlling monuments. Right. These are, give me a sec. So Sacred Site Territory, it's called this one. This is called Sacred Site Territory. Okay. So where is it? This should be here. Yeah. So I think makes sense to go for Greece, where whenever you play statecraft you gain 1 gold and 1 glory, and Hellenism, end of age, gain 1 influence in every continent where you have control in a city-state. If you have control in 2 or more states, score 2 victory points. Okay, we'll see. Anyway, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to be, normally when I place during planning my order tokens, I place them face down in multiplayer games. In this one, because it doesn't matter, I'm playing solo versus solo Automa, I will place them face up. Okay, I will just place face down the Automas order tokens and resolve them normally like we do at a resolution phase. Okay, or maybe I will not, I'll also place face down. Anyway, so I think I will need first to expand. So I will start by, and I need to control food, because if I control food, when I play the grow action, I will be able to grow more. Okay, so I'm starting the game by, first we're going to have, I'm going to place a move action, 1 here and 1 there, by spending 1 food. So I'm playing here, my first action, okay, which is a move. Then, this was from the explanation, so let's shuffle the Automa cards and create an Automa deck. Right, this is just a reminder. The back of the player screen, again, you don't have to use a player screen here, because you're just playing solo. So the Automa is going to place this action, this order token, where 3 steps following the direction away from the last placed order token. So it's 1, 2, 3. Cool. Then, and sorry, before going to the Automa, which we'll do, I'm getting this one, which is an attack. Okay. This is a free neutral attack, which I think I'm not able to gain because there's no one to attack. Okay, so when the Automa is playing, they're going to play 3 away, so 1, 2, 3. They also have 1 attack, no one to attack at the moment, okay, for the neutral action. And it's my turn to play my second order. I think I'm going to follow the same strategy here. So I think I'm going to move again, and I want to go first, so I'm going to play here my order. Then we have the Automa playing 2 away from the last placed, so 1, 2, very straightforward. Okay, then it's me playing my third order token, which is going to be, I think, again move. Or should I play grow? Sorry, this is a grow action. This is not the attack. Yeah, I was just... So that means that here I would add 1 by growing, okay? And here I'm going to gain 1 more movement, which is going to be as a neutral, sorry, before the automa, which means I'm going to go here and reveal that one, which gives me 1 foot. Okay, cool. And the automa is going to grow by placing this one here, and then it's my third action. Which is going to be again here. I want to have the possibility of getting the double spot access, so for moving theoretically, and then the automa is going to play 2 away from there, their third, so 1 to here, and gain 1 attack. They cannot attack anyone because this is protected, the starting territory, and that ends the planning phase. Then we move to the action phase, resolution phase. So starting with the order token in the slot directly below the direction marker, following the arrow, we turn order tokens face up 1 by 1, and every player resolves their action. Okay, so we start here. That means I have a movement which I can do either here or here. Okay, but I cannot split, so I cannot make 2 here and 1 here. So I'm paying a food in order to utilize the second movement. Okay, which means this is going to move here and this is going to move here. Right. And then we move here. Here we have attack, where unfortunately they cannot attack because they do not have an area where both their army and my army is available. So when you determine target territory, you check for matching continent, in my case this one for the red, and the automa has at least 1 army there and at least 1 opponent army there. If there is only 1 such territory, there are 2 or more territories. If there are no territories, the action fails. So it fails, thankfully for me. Then I go here. I have 2 movement. So one is going to be here and one is going to be here. Then the automa has a growth. Okay, so for the growth you do this twice, 2 grow actions. On the matching continent, find all territories where the automa has a settlement. It has no settlements here. If there are multiple territories, then the automa has settlement, then they select one from the smallest number of armies. If there are still multiple territories, they use the automa priority list. If there is no territories, the automa has settlement, then place 1 army in the starting area. So you just place 1 army here for them. Right, very straightforward and very fast. Then it's my turn. Okay, I have 3 movements. Okay, so first one is here, and I reveal this one, and I gain 1 food. 1 material. Second one is here, and third one is here. Okay, good. So that's me down there, and then the third order token. It has a growth action. That means you check for settlements. There's no settlements. Similarly, like here, they just place an army in the starting territory. And then we finished the first round of H1, and we proceed to the second round of H1, which is again planning and then resolution. So again, here we have the opportunity to create okay, I'm playing statecraft, and I think, oh no, I'm going to play build, and now I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to play build. Now you can either play it on top of one or at one vacant, but you cannot have three there, okay? So for the second round, I'm going to play here and immediately produce. That's a neutral action, and that means that you choose one resource producing territory from this continent where you have at least one army and you gain that resource. That means I can gain one food or one material. I will gain one food, okay, because of the neutral. Then it's him. From there we count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's me, my second. I'm thinking on going statecraft here, even though it's a bit worrying that it has so many. Maybe I go state. No, I need to collect material there. I think I will collect. No, there will be. If I collect here, I will. I think I'm going to increase my population here, and by doing so I also add one more, either on a settlement, which I have none, or on a starting territory. And then he will place his next one spot here, and I will place my third one. I think I want to produce so I'm placing it here, and I also produce from the neutral one, which means I gain 1 gold. Right. Then last card from the automa. It's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there. Now, for the second round, okay, we now flipped and resolve in the direction of the arrow, which shows the opposite direction, okay? Which means that this goes like that. Okay, so the direction changes. So for the second round it's identical with the first round. The planning phase, when you place, you do place order tokens either on empty slots or above other ones. Okay. For the resolution phase, during the resolution phase, the order tokens are now flipped and resolved in the direction of the direction marker, which shows the opposite direction from the previous round. Okay. Right. But we did one mistake, which is fine, I think, for this round. We should have flipped the direction from the at the end of the first round for the automa, which means the automa would have started placing from this direction, with this direction, okay? Yeah. Because the way the automa is placing, when it's doing its planning, for the planning phase, okay, placing orders, what happens is you take the order token, you reveal it, starting from the last placed order token, the last token previously placed, moving in the direction of the direction arrow, count as many order slots equal to, and then you place that. So we did it in the wrong direction for the second round for placement, but I think it's fine. Okay, so keep in mind that at the end of the round you flip the direction, which I forgot to do before, and then this dictates the direction of the automa when placing order tokens. Right. Okay, so okay. Okay, so that means that now we go to the resolution phase of the second round, which starts from here. So these are also executed again. That means I have two movements, or one if I don't pay one food. So I think I'm going here and revealing this one, which gives me a gold. Okay, that's good. Right. Then we go here. I reveal that one. I produce. So this is a produce order. You gain food, materials, or gold for each resource producing territory on the continent where you have at least one army. In this case, I gain one wood and one gold. Sorry, one material and one gold. Okay? Then it grows, but since it doesn't have any settlements, it just grows here by one. Then I have two movements and I can do them here or here. I think I'm going to do them, or three even, but I need food to go across. Okay, I think with my first movement I'm going here, and then I reveal this one, which is in one food. And then with my second movement I spend the food, I just got it and received it, to move here, and I reveal this one, which is barbarian. I can ignore them obviously, but if I need to build there or control this sacred site, I need to defeat them. Okay, and I will pay one more food to move here. Okay, keep in mind when you move troops or people across the sea, you pay only one food for as many people as you want to move across. Right, there, the automa. The automa has two movements, and now we need to start checking priority. So let me pull my cheat code and see the targeting. So on the matching continent, which in this case is this one, but even if it was here, you ignore the green, you follow the direction and you go to the next one, which is the black continent, okay? In the direction of the respected continent, the automa checks the priority list to go through every type of territory to find territory that has no settlements. That is a destination area, okay, on this continent. So we check the top card and it shows a food icon, okay, and if there are more than one, that's the destination, okay. So if there are more than one, then if the automa, if there are no such territories after exhausting the list, then determine the destination territory by finding territory with a total power, okay. But we have a territory, and in this case it's the food. And why it is this one, that one, A, C or B? Because first priority is A, okay, where with no people there. That means with no settlements. It goes there, and what is the origin? Okay, because you're going to move 2 armies without spending any food. It doesn't have any resources. Where does it move to? If you check the origin twice. If the automa has armies in the start territory, then its origin is there. Obviously it's here, so both of them come, one from here and second from here. It's building up so that it can create a settlement, okay? Then we flip. This has a stack of 2. We first create the resolve the top one and then the bottom one. I grow with 1 more food. I will grow a second unit, otherwise I will need to grow 1. And then the second one is that it also grows, okay. So when it grows, final territories where the automa has a settlement. If there are multiple territories, the automa has settlement, blah blah blah, smallest then select the one that has. So if there are no territories where the automa has settlement, then place 1 army in the starting territory. So it goes on the starting territory if it doesn't have settlements, which is here, right. Then we move to the next one. Again, here it attacks, okay. So it cannot attack in the starting territory, so it checks for areas in the affected continent where it has where both myself and himself have armies. That's the target, obviously. And it will attack twice, okay. So the target territory, the automa has at least 1 army and at least 1 opponent army is there. There is no other such case, so it's only this one. So that's the target one. And there's at least 1 opponent army there. If there is only such 1 territory, then the target territory, and proceed to determine the target opponent. If there are 2 or more territories that match, then we do the priority list check here, okay, right. So clearly it attacks and it removes 1 and 1, okay. So this is how attack happens. It's very straightforward. When you attack, you gain 1 attack point or 2 if you pay 1 material to enhance the action, and you may spend an attack point to do the following: attack 1 army, destroy an opponent army in a territory that you have at least 1 army. The opponent places their army back into the supply. Sorry, this is not removed. It's only mine that it's removed. He stays, okay? He attacks me, I'm the one with the casualty. And normally a player would gain also 1 glory. If there was a settlement, it would attack the improvements on the settlement. The settlement itself, the core settlement building, cannot be destroyed. And if there were barbarians, they would attack the barbarians. And that's it. Okay, this is how the attack action happens. Okay. For the second attack, there is no coexisting army of mine and his, only in the starting material, so it fails the second attack. Right. Here, 2 movements, right. Two movements means I'm moving both of them here. Okay, right? And then the top one, 2 movements. So he's moving from the starting area outwards. First we evaluate the first movement and then separately the second one. Okay, so the destination, so it goes out from the starting territory, the automa, and let's see the target for the move. So we follow the priority list to go through every type of territory and find territory that has no settlement. This is destination territory. This is first here to the to this location on the continent. So from there it moves there, and this one moves also here. Right. Cool. Then we move to the bottom order token, which is attack. It attacks here, it removes my army, and gains 1 glory. No, doesn't gain glory. Right, so I'm being wiped out. Good. And then the last one, this one, which I was planning to build here something, didn't work well, so I cannot build. So when you build, you can decide to either build a wonder in age 3, rounds 5 and 6. You can build an improvement if you have settlement, or build 2, remove 2 armies from a single territory to build a settlement and gain 1 idea and 1 influence by doing so in the continent where you build, which I failed to do. There was very bad planning, which means I cannot build anything and I miserably fail. Wow. Okay, so there's the end of age 1. Okay, so round 2, age 1 has finished. So what happens here? We check gain continent and island points. So following the direction marker, we check which player controls the most territories on each continent. To control territory, a player must have most power in that territory. 1 settlement gives 1 power and 1 army gives 1 power. Okay, so in this one, I control 1 plus 1, 2. He's still at the starting one. So I control most of them, so I gain 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Sorry? A yellow one. 1, 2, 3. Right. The player who controls the second most territories on a continent gains a second continent bonus. If more players tied for the territories, they also gain total bonus, round down. I assume that he gains 0 points because he has 0 territories. Okay, that's why I'm not giving the second position. If he had 1 at least, he would gain 1 victory point. It's not clarified in the rulebook, but like most other games, you need to at least control something to gain second position, have at least 1 of something. He has 0 control territories here. Right, then moving to the second continent. Here I control 1, so I gain 2 victory points. And here he doesn't control this one. This is a starting one, and I control 1, so I gain 3 victory points. Okay. Last continent is this one. I control 1, control 2, he controls 1. So I gain 4 and he gains 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and he gains 2 victory points. That's the continent and island points. Okay, so city states majority. Following the direction of the marker, check which player has placed the most order tokens on each slot, and slots which have 2 colors count for both. Okay, that player places one of their discs on the city state of that continent and advances on the pillar track that matches the pillar symbol of that state. If 2 or more players tied for the most orders, all tied players get the reward. So let's start with this one, starting from this one. So I have 1, 2, 3, and he has 1, so I have placed most. That means I'm placing one of my discs. Okay. On the city state. And I advance 1 here, and I gain 1 glory. Okay, and that player places one of their discs in state of that content and advance on the pillar. Sorry, I don't advance here. I don't advance on the influence. My bad. I advance on the pillars, on the green pillar. So I go here. Okay. Yeah. That player places one of their discs on the city state card of that continent and advances on the pillar track that matches the pillar symbol of the city state. Order tokens, blah blah blah. Okay, then second one here. I have 1, 2, 3, and he has 1, 2, 3. So we both take advance. He places one disc here. And I place one of my discs there, and I advance on the blue pillar myself, and he does the same, because when we're tied we both gain the same. Right, third continent. I have 1, 2, 3. You see, sitting in the center page because it counts for both, and he has 2. That means I have the most. That means I gain the bonus, which is I place one of my discs there, and I gain the red pillar bonus here. Okay, not bad. Progressed on 3 pillars out of 5. So civilization age 1 has come to an end. That means at the end of 1 I'm selecting one of the 2. So when you select one civilization, okay, you'll see that it has some sections. It has the immediate effect, which is at the top. It has the ongoing effect, which is the ability in the middle, and it has the end of age effect. Okay. Also, you'll see that the civilizations give you some icons, which you gain on the pillars. So if I gain the green one, I will gain 1 food, which is not bad. If I gain the green and the purple, I'll move here, which I will be able to gain 1 growth at some point. Okay. Not bad. So I think I'm going to get Greece as my civilization. I'm clicking it, so I'm proceeding on the purple one and on the green a second time. I cross the bonus, that means I gain 1 food. Okay, that's the 2 barriers. I also gain 2 food or 2 materials in each continent where you have control in a city state. I have control in a city state. From the influence I have nowhere, unfortunately. Okay. And he places one fort in your capital and gain its benefits and gain 1 influence in that continent. He doesn't have a settlement, so he doesn't gain any fort for that settlement. But it gains 1 red pillar step and 1 yellow. Okay, nice. And that's the end of the H1. 2 out of 6 rounds. Very fast. that being said, let's move now to the second age. Now, during the second age, what we need to do is we need to take the wonders. Okay, remember we have the wonders, and we'll need to shuffle them and reveal 5 of them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 wonders are revealed, and they are not available to be built. Okay, you would be able to build them in the third age, meaning rounds 5 and 6. Okay, so but you get to see what's coming up and you plan around it. Moving to the next round, we just take our orders back. Okay. Now I may have done a mistake in some kind of priority or something, but the main point here is for you to understand how the Sol automa works, and I think it does it really well, if you ask me. So then we flip it and we move to the next dual section, which is here. Okay, and the automa gets again the 6 specific to growth, to movement, and to combat, fight. Tokens, order tokens, shuffles them, and creates a face down stack. Right. Okay, so we're ready to start. Now, how you calculate you arrange the turn order at the end of an age. For the next age, you arrange the player order on the scoreboard in reverse order according to the victory points. The player who is the least amount of victory points goes first. That means here the automa is going to go first because it has only 2 victory points and I have 10. Okay? And we're ready to start a new round. Right. So it goes first and it opens a card and places it. I think it doesn't need to open a card, but anyway, because he's the first one, so he's going to place here. Yeah, so doesn't need to open a card, I think. Or maybe it does because this changes the priority list from before. Anyway, the number doesn't matter because he's the first one. If he's the first one, he goes directly below the arrow. My turn. Okay, I'm doing good on control, but I'm not happy at all with presence, because I just have scattered one army here and there, and he's building up to create some sort of more presence than me. But what I'm thinking is maybe I can use the opportunity to start preparing in order to build a settlement. Okay? So keep in mind gold is a wild resource, okay, and can be spent instead of food and materials. But if something requires gold specifically for wonders, you need to provide gold, obviously. So I'm going to try to work around building okay, let's play offensive, right? So unless okay, let's play offensive, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place here in in order to move. I'm not going, in order to move. Why don't I produce? No, I'm going to place here. Okay, so I'm placing there. And since I'm placing there, I'm attacking, so I'm removing one of his armies. Okay. And then he's opening a new card. That's number 5. So he takes his next order token from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gains 1 attack, which there's none. We don't coexist, so it doesn't get any bonus. Myself, I'm playing my second action, which is a good idea to gain some influence here. But if I move, I need to also build my presence. So I think I'm going to build. Build here. Okay. Right. Then he opens a new card, and 6 out of there, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we skip over previously placed, right? Let me check the automa rules. Place the automa order token in order you just slot you counted up to. Do this only if the placement is allowed, the slot is empty, or there is not placed. Otherwise, continue along the order slots following direction marker until you find an order slot where the automa can legally place. Start counting there, it says. It doesn't say if you skip over. So most probably it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would say there. If it's legal, you place it. If not, you go to the next available one in the direction of the arrow. Right, so then it's me again. I think I'm going to invest heavily here. And collect first. And grow. Okay. And then the automa is going to place the third one, which is 5 from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we start with this one. Going clockwise, this one does not count for the orange because the direction is this one. It counts for the black continents from here. So, meaning if it doesn't have a settlement, it just builds one here. Then we go there. And then I fight, so I remove 1 and gain 1 glory. And I should also receive 1 more glory before, because I also removed 1 from the neutral action. Yeah, forgot. Okay, so I have 2 glory. And it's good because you glory count for victory points at the end of the game, but also if you get 5, you go down to 0 and you have 3 victory points. Okay, so it rewards attacking anyway as well. And there is no need to, I cannot attack anything else, so no need to spend material to do a second attack. Then here, build. So I'm going to build my settlement. So in order to build the settlement, you need to pay 1, 2, or 3 materials equal to the number of the current age. The age now it's 2, so I need to pay 2 materials. So I'll spend 1 and 1, 2. Okay, first that better than this one because this is a wild. And then you remove, okay, you remove your 2 armies and place a settlement there. This is secure now. It cannot be destroyed. Only the improvements of the settlement can be destroyed. Also, since it's my first settlement, it's my capital. Okay. Right. And oh, I forgot. When I placed this one, did I get? I should have added one more, because when I did the neutral placement, I should have received one growth, which I didn't. For here, yeah, okay, I forgot. So I should have one more there. Fine. So I built with my first build settlement. Okay. Again, one idea and one influence, which gives me one gold. I need to spend gold, otherwise I'm going to lose it moving forward. And I also have a second build, so I can build here in this continent. I can build an improvement now, I suppose, by spending 2 materials and choose one of the available improvements. So what do the improvements give? Oh, spend. And what do I want? Whenever you play statecraft, you gain 1 and 1. That's an ongoing ability. It enhances you, rewards you for playing statecraft more. In every corner where you control city-state. Okay. Let's see also the technologies. When you gain an idea, gain an extra material. When you produce, you gain trader in resources for 1 gold. 2 resources, 1 gold. That's the trading. Irrigation, when you improve a settlement, it counts 1 less material. That's a good one. And when you produce 1 additional material. Okay, both of them are good. And I do like both of them, to be honest. So I need to play statecraft next round. Okay, but going back to our improvements, do I build? Shall I build a fort and gain 1 population there? Okay. For the player to attack a settlement, there needs to be no armies there. So it's a good idea to build a fort, which I'm going to do here, by spending 2 resources. Okay, let's spend 1 gold and 1 of that. Okay, you spent 2 resources, 2 materials, not 2 resources, specifically materials. And the reward for building a fort is you gain, obviously, a soldier. Okay, that's cool. So I'm done with my building action. Then we move here. This is a growth. I think I need to extend my presence here. So I'm building, spending 1 food to get a second one. Okay. Right. Then the Ottoman has movement. So when it has 2 moves. The first one goes towards the sacred. Yeah. And if it has here, then it goes there. So it goes here towards the sacred area for this movement. Then here, this applies to the orange one. It has 2 attacks, so it's wasted. Wow, great. By the way, he should have received, shouldn't forget the neutral ones, right? Because he placed there, he should have received before 1 in the starting territory. And this is the, and here he would have received material, doesn't collect material. So here he also fights and gets nothing. Okay, cool. That's the end. Now we switch, and now we do the order correctly, because now it's going to start playing from the last placed counterclockwise, okay, not clockwise. Okay. So it starts with its first placement, 1. The first one is on the last blade, or if not, under here, so it goes there. Then it's me. I want to gather resources and build something. So I would place here so I can build 3 units. One from the one unit from the neutral. The other ones are going to be later. Don't get too excited. Okay, he will place his last one. There's no other card. 6 away. From this one, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Okay, so I'm shuffling to create a new deck for him. Right. Whenever you move at least one time in a single move action, gain 1 extra movement. And whenever you do statecraft, you gain 1 gold and 1 glory. Right, so my last action is going to be statecraft. So here I have 1, 2, and he has 1 or 2, so we both get here. He has 3, so there's no way I'm winning this one. But here I want to produce here to gain 1 material and do statecraft there. Right, so we're done. Then, starting from this one, we execute first. It doesn't have a settlement, so he adds 1 person there. Myself, I build, I add 2 people, 2 of my tribe, and I will build, I will use 1 gold to do so, so I add 2. Okay, 1 plus 1, 2. Then, first, statecraft. Now, for statecraft, I can either gain an idea, or spend an idea to gain technology, trade with the available bonus actions from this area, means gain 1 army or gain 1 attack. Okay, and afterwards advance 1 step on the pillar based on the city state and advance on the red, which will give me 1 more. Not bad. Okay, I can bring 2 more people like that, or I can do diplomacy, advance my marker on the board and gain bonuses, which would give me 1 idea. I will spend 1 idea because it's my first card, and get this one, the mining, which I'm going to add in one of my 5 slots. Okay, and it's going to give me 1 progression on the yellow, which gives me 1 material, and 1 progression on the red, which passes this one and gives me 1 army. Right, so that's looking good there. From now on, with this technology, whenever I produce 1 additional material. Really good. And then he goes and does the bottom, which is attack. He cannot attack in the starting territory, so it fails. Moving to the next one. Here, he attacks, he still fails. That's good. Then he moves. He moves towards, then we have to flip a card. The secret, so both of them move here. And then again he moves, so goes towards the gold. That means two of them go here. Okay, that's this I didn't like, to be honest. Here I can spend one food to bring two in the game, and I think I have all of my people out now, so I need to be careful, because if I bring them here, we need to have one more card. Sorry, it's always 5. Shall I invest in this continent or that one? That's my, because my armies are limited, and if I don't lose any combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going here because I also have to protect this settlement. So they will go here, both of them. Okay, by producing, and I spend one food to do so. Here I build. I can build one settlement by spending 2 materials, and I will build, I cannot build a fort again. I think I'm going to build a library to gain one idea. Or should I build, or should I build, no, I will build a library. Okay, that's my second improvement here, so I build a library. And that gives me one idea. Okay, with my first build. And with my second build, I will build again an improvement. And build a port. And gain 1 gold material. Okay. Then fight. There's nothing I can fight, and that ends the second the fourth round, which means the second age finishes. That being said, now let's go and do some end of round. The first thing we do is we gain improvement, starting with the one with the arrow and going the direction. Here I own, he owns 1 and I own 2. That means I gain 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he gains 2. There he controls 1, 2, and I control only 1. So he gains 3 points, and I only gain 1. Here I myself only get 2 points, and here I control 1, 2, and he controls 0, so I gain 3 points. Okay, cool. And that's the end of the era age 2. Okay, and now we proceed to age 3. Now we can build wonders. Okay, so this goes in the last dual spot. We also collect again all of our order tokens. Very nice and easy to handle automa. Very interesting. Okay. So far. So we create a stack for the order tokens. He's still behind, so he still goes first, and then we start by placing the first order token here, and he gains 1 collect. That means he gains 1 gold. Okay, so he doesn't collect items. Oh, sorry, he gains 1. I forgot to mention, he doesn't collect items. We did it before also, this one. But the automa, when he takes from a neutral action the produce, he gains 2 victory points. So he should have 2 from before because he did it already once. Okay, from the previous age, and then 1 more for this one now. Okay, right. Then myself. Oh, and before, when I use statecraft, I gain 1 gold and 1 prestige, 1 glory, sorry. This is my agora, my ongoing ability. I forgot about it when I did statecraft for this location. Okay, cool. Which means, remind me, I still need to do against statecraft, but I think I want to move here and then build. So let's move. And for us to move first here, I'll do it there. So I gain 1 resource from that one material. Then he plays his next one, 5 from there in the direction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he gains 1 army. And then it's my turn. Then I need to build. So I move and I build later, which means I want to go where? I want to go there to grab 1 gold from this movement. Okay, he plays his third one further than me here, so he has 3, and now it's my turn. My turn would be to move twice here and attack. But if I attack now, there's no one to attack, right? So I need to... Why don't I move here once? What did I play here? To move? No. Yeah, to move... Wait a minute. To move, yeah, sure. Sure. And then I reveal this one, which is an idea. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can build any of those wonders. 2 food, 2 material, 1 gold, and 0 ideas. Score 3 for each settlement on an island. Gain 1 influence in any continent. This gives me the Stonehenge 1 point for each army you have on a sacred area, which I have none at the moment. I'll have 1 there. Okay. This gives me 1 point for each idea, technology, and library you control. For each idea, technology, and library control. This is fantastic. I need to build this one. Okay, right. So I will build this round again. Sorry, I have 3 and he has 3. No, that's the end of round 5, which means we execute with. So we start with here, and then he fights. That means he defeats me. Okay, so when the automa attacks, he finds where he can defeat me. because we have both presents. And does he get any points for defeating me? No, didn't miss something, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Then myself, I move twice. I moved twice. That means, give me a sec, I'm checking something. Okay, I moved twice. So how we should play that one? I think I'm going to just move this one here, one. And because he will attack again here, there's no point of me moving there. So I'm just going to... Or I can move here and grab this one from there. Okay, that's not bad. Because he controls one and I control two, but I don't know how he's going to play out there. For the 4 points, I mean. Not sure. Okay. What we forgot to do, give me a sec, is we gave the points for the islands. We didn't give the majority for the city-states. Okay. And I don't remember now, to be honest, who had the majority in each of those. Yeah, but let me. I think I had a screenshot. Let me just check. Okay, so having a screenshot always pays. This is my screenshot, right from when I finished my H2. Okay, so I can see that in this area he has 1, 2, 3, and I have 2. That means he had majority here, which means he would place his disc there, okay, and gain 1 here, which would give him 1 additional army there. Okay, that's it. Here in the second one, again checking my screenshot, he has 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, and I had only 1 green, 1 yellow, sorry, as you can see. So he still gains this majority, which allows him to place one of his discs there and gain 1 green, which gives him 1 spot there. And here in the third and last, sorry for backtracking, but it's a good thing that I had the screenshot just to be correct. I have 1, 2, 3, and he has 1, something like that. Anyway, I have majority, that's what's important. Therefore, that means I would have placed one of my discs there. I'm out of discs. I don't know if these cubes do the same, but anyway, I'm placing a cube now. And gained 1 blue, which would give me 1 more idea. Okay, so we just corrected the city-state majority. Okay, right. So we are where? We started here, and then I just did my movement from there to there. I'm thinking not to do the second one, so we moved to the in the direction of the arrow here. I also have a movement, so I'm going to move there, 1, and 1 here. Okay, and to do so I need to spend 1 food, which I don't have, but I have gold because I need to spend food to do a second movement. Then going here, I'm building. I have 2 builds. The first one is to build a settlement. The settlement costs a number of materials equal to the equal to the age. This is the third age, that means I need to spend 3. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm building a settlement here and gaining 1 influence with that and 1 idea. Okay. When this happens, this goes to 0 and I gain 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3, and 1 influence here, which gives me another idea. Okay, so this is how the glory point works, just for you to know. When it reaches the end, you just gain 3 victory points and you go back to the bottom. You gain 1 of the bonuses from the first row of spaces on the pillar track, which means I gain 1 of those bonuses, which for me would be another idea, obviously, because I'm opting to build this one from my second build. Wait, yeah, now, which is going to be now. Right. For my second build, I need to spend 2 food and 1 gold and 1 idea. I have 1 idea, I have 1 gold, but I don't have 2 food, so I cannot build that yet. So let's do something to build up. So I'm building a market. I need to remove those in order to build. Yeah. And I build 1 market in order to gain 1 food. And for me to build a market, since this is the cost to build an improvement, it's 2 materials, which I don't have. I will need to spend 2 gold. Now I'm stretching to build. I will build a port, to be honest. And the reason for that is it gives me 1 gold, which is wild. And I need to produce now, seriously. Okay, anyway, going here. So movement. So he moves in the direction of towards the yellow, which means the yellow here, the gold here is this one, so he needs to move 1 and 1, 2. That's a target. Okay. Right, then it moves again and it goes let me check quickly something. When moving on the matching content following the atomic priority list, every territory, if there is no such territory, so the first move is there and the second is there. Okay, and then again 1 and 1, 2. This is how the 2 movements go. Right, it passes from C. Suppose it has foot always to pass from C. Right, then we finish, we switch the direction for the 6th and last round and the end of the 3rd age, and then we do placement. Right, so let me think. I need to plan carefully because I want to build at the end of each age. Gain 1 influence in every continent where you have a control in a city-state. If you have control in 1 or more city-states, score 2 victory points. I had control here, so I should have received 1 more influence. Okay? And I also had, at the end of the age, control here. No, this I got as part of the building. This age, yeah, okay. Right, and he gains 1 influence in every continent where you control the most territories. If you control the most territories in 2 or more, you gain 2 glory. he didn't control the most territories nowhere, to be honest. Because I had 2 here and he had 2, had more here, and I always had more here, so he never had this end of edge scoring opportunity. So going to the 6th round, for planning purposes, can I collect 2 food and 1 gold? 2 food. For me to collect 2 food, I need to play around gathering. And for me to do that, where can I gather? I can gather here. There is no gather here. I can gather here, which gives me 1 gather, which I use in this one. Sorry, in this one, this continent, and I gain 1 food. Then he places his he places before me, so he places his first one here, and I cannot gain this one. Sorry. And now I place myself, so I would have placed it here to do the same, yeah, to gain 1. Right. Okay. Then he places 6 away from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I place my second one, which is I still need to gather, so I will gather again. And if I do so here, I will gain a gold, but I will first gain a food which I have now, and I can build the wonder. Okay, and then he places his last one 4 away from there in the direction of the arrow, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and I place my last one, which is going to be a build, obviously. I do have everything now, so I will place my build where? Does it matter where you build your wonder? No, you just build it. I want to build it. How can I take advantage of the fight here? I will move here because I think I'm going to lose this battle from the fight. Okay, cool. So we finish and then we start by executing. So first this one, it does an attack here, so I just save this guy, and then he does another attack and nothing happens. Here I build this wonder by spending 2 food, 1 idea, and two food, 1 idea, and 1 gold. I really emptied my pockets here, but I managed to build this one, which gives me 2 in the green, so 1 and 1, 2, which gives me another gold, and it gives me 1 in the blue here. At the end, score 1 victory point for each. This, so you have food, each settlement, and monument you control. I think monument means wonder, because I didn't see what monument is in the game. Okay, so I've built that one. Right. Okay, cool. Then he does this one, which is moving, so he moves towards the direction of the gold city, but if it's occupied, it goes towards the stone. So he moves one from here, one, sorry, that's me, 1 and 1, 2. Sorry, stone material. Okay. Then here, it if he has a settlement for the grow, no, for the grow, we just check now where he has 2. Okay, for the grow, and on the matching continent, find all territories where the automa has a settlement. If there is no settlement, the automa has a settlement. Select one with the smallest number of armies. If there are still number of armies, number of territories, they use the automa priority to determine the target territory. If there are no territories, the automa has a settlement. Okay. Sorry. At the end of each era, we should have built a settlement. Okay, so this would have been built. Doesn't affect anything. Okay, we check for building settlements of the automa at the end of each age. Okay, here he would have built. Okay, and here he would have built. This he just moved, I think. Now here he moved now, but here he was also before, so he would have had a settlement. Okay, and I think here he also would have had a settlement. Yeah, I forgot to place the settlements for them because it's a major source of points for the automa. So going back to the moving to the growth. So for the growth, what happens is on the matching continent, find all territories where the automa has a settlement. If there are multiple territories with settlements, here it only has 1. Use the priority list. Use the one with the smallest number of armies. If there's still multiple territories, then use the automa priority list to determine the target territory. If there are certain territories, the automa has settlement, then also place an army. Then place 1 army in the starting territory. So he builds 2 armies here, where he has the settlement. Right. And then he executes that, meaning moving. He does have 1, so he moves towards the gold, which he is present, then towards here where he is present. So when you're moving, again, sorry, keep forgetting, if there's no such territories, go to the territory, find territory settlement. If there is no destination, if there are no such territories, destination. Okay, so he moves towards the gold, so he moves towards there. And then he moves again. Okay, no, the origin should be this is the destination, the gold. The origin is, if the automa has armies in the starting territory, it is in the origin. Otherwise, it's a condition 2. There is no territories in this continent where the automa has a settlement. There are. The automa has no armies in territories where it has settlement. Then go to 3. Find all territories that don't match the type of the current destination. 3 or more armies. Okay, so he moves there. Right. Okay. So if he doesn't have, going by right means I understood, but anyway, I didn't explain. So from here, when move happens, the origin is, if the automa has armies in starting territory, then the origin is a starting territory. So that's the first one, and he moves towards there. Okay, towards here. Then for the second movement, if I find all territories where the automa has a settlement, out of those determine the origin as the origin, the territory where the automa has the most armies. This is the one with the most armies. Okay, and then move towards the yellow and then towards the material, which means he moves back here. Okay, right. I think I did it correctly. Then build twice. Unfortunately, there's nothing for me to build, so this goes wasted. Okay, here first we do collect, so I'm collecting 1 gold, and then I move, and by moving I move 1, 2, by spending 1 food, which will be gold, and then I'll take it as a material, because I need to spend a food to move second movement point. Okay, so this is done, and then we go here, and this is collect. I collect 1 material and 1 food. Okay, and then the last thing here is first it builds, so if it doesn't have growth, so if it doesn't on the matching territory, find territories where the automa has a settlement. If there are multiple territories where the automa has a settlement, then so no territories. Okay, so he builds here. So if he has 2 automas, the tiebreaker is if there are still multiple territories, then use the automa priority list. So he builds first to the gold here. Settlement. And then I move. I would move nowhere, no problem. And then we finish. So end of age. We do first continent majority. So I have 1, he has 1. In case of a tie, for determining majority in areas controlled in the continent. Okay, let me see, don't remember it. If 2 or more players are tied, for the most territories, no one controls the territory. Okay, so here no one scores. We have 1 and 1, 0. Here he has 1, 2, and I have 1, 2. No one controls it again. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and he has 1, so I control it. I gain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He gains 2. And here he controls 1, 2. So the settlements count 1, 2. And I have 2, 3. So I gain 3 points, and he gets 1. I think I've been really good with the majorities. Okay. In this game, in this session, then we go to the city-states majority. Here, 2 red, 3 red, 5 red. So he gains 1 influence, and gains, if the automa gains from the majority a reward. On city-states, I think he gains 2 VPs instead, so he goes here. Then here I have 1, 2, 3. So I gain the influence, and I move here. And here I have 1, 2, and he has 1, 2, 3. So he wins, and he places. Sorry, we don't move up. He gains 1 blue. Okay, and for each time he crosses this one, he gains 2 victory points. So 2 victory points. And here I gave him an army. I should have given him 2 victory points as well. Right here I don't move. I just gain 1 red myself, which is going here. And here he doesn't move. He gains 1 green, which is here, and gains 2 more victory points. Okay, so we're like that. Cool. Then the last thing that we do is we go to the final scoring. So we gain victory points for the final scoring from Wonders Build, I built this one, which gives me 1 victory point for each food, settlement, and monument I control. So I have 1 monument, 1 food, and 2 settlement for a total of 4 points. And I go to 34. He doesn't have a wonder, he doesn't build wonders. And then settlements. This settlement has level 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4 level, so it's 7 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this settlement is a level 2. It has 1 improvement, so it's 3 points. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4 settlements. 1, 2, 3, 4 victory points. Then ideas and gold, gain 1 for each gold and idea remaining. So I have 1 and 1, 2, gain 2 more. Glory, gain 1 for each glory remaining. I have 3, so 1, 2, 3. City states, 2 victory points for each disc you placed on a city state. Which means we didn't place cubes for. Here I had 1. Okay, here I have 1, and here he has 1 disc, which will be cube, whatever. Okay, so I gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 2, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. Sorry, not 9, 8. Then, city states, 2 victory points for each disc you placed on a city. Yeah, pillars, 2 victory points for each pillar where you are the first. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gain 10 victory points. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And final influence, for each continent count the total number of territories you control there, multiplied by the number of the influence you have in that continent. That's your influence for points. Okay? Let's see. Starting with this one. Doesn't matter, starting with this one. So here I control 1, 2, 3 times 1. I gain 3 victory points and has 2, so he has 2 points and I have 3. Then here have 1, 2, 3 times 1. Again 3 victory points, 1, 2, 3, and he has 1. And here he has 1, 2, 3 times 1, so he gains 3, 1, 2, 3, and I have 1, 2, 3, and again 3 times 1, 3. So that's the end of this session. I must have made a couple of mistakes in terms of priority, but anyway, this is the general overall feeling of the solo. So I win by, what is it, 50 and 39, 89 points versus 39. Okay, so that's, anyway, this is, the purpose of this was just to give you an idea on how to, oh, and I didn't do this one, huh? End of age, if in every continent where you have control in a city-state, if you have control in 2 or more city-states, score 2. I had control on here and here. Sorry, it's not 2, it's 1. So I had 2 controls, so I would gain 2 victory points extra. Yeah, so 41. Sorry, that's not me. So 30, 28, 30. So, yeah, I said the score wrong. So it's 50 plus 30, 80 for me, and 39 for him. if I'm counting it correctly. Anyway, doesn't matter. I won the automa solo, but this is how a simple quick demonstration of a solo playthrough in Ancient Empires looks like. Thanks for watching.